Hello, y'all. Today is Sunday, April 10th, 2022 at 1:51 p.m. I'm coming in here because I know I have a lot to say. Hold up. Dang. I know I have a lot to talk about. So, I don't know where my computer stands, but if my computer was working, properly, then if my computer was working okay, then I could, do this video on my computer. But I'm gonna just try to come in this bathroom and turn off the light and hope that this video can last a little longer, because I think I have more than 20 minutes worth of stuff to talk about. So where do I begin? So I didn't even, wow. So me just talking about, what I did yesterday and what I did today. So my mind is scrambled all over the place. Well, between yesterday and today, me being forced to hear almost every 5 minutes there's a vehicle passing by with loud, ridiculous bass music, like every 5 minutes. And they're so ridiculous with it. And I know that's part of the gang stalking. As I said, if I had a choice, I would rather the horn honking, because at least I can put my earbuds in and tune that out. But I can put on my earbuds and still can hear and feel the bass thumping, the loud, ignorant bass music and stuff like that. So during the daytime, I gotta hear a whole bunch of loud bass music, day and night. But more so at nighttime and early morning, I have to hear all the paramedics. And so yesterday evening, I worked on a short fiction story. And anything, y'all know that as a targeted individual, anything you try to accomplish, the perps want to try to halt you or try to stop it. So I didn't even announce in advance, hey y'all, I'm about to write a short story. I'm about to write another, short fiction story. What happened was, the instant that I started writing, they went back to vibrating me again at that time. And vibrated me the whole entire time that I was working on the short story. Plus, they kept on hitting me in my right ear with a high-pitched noise, off and on. And then at the top part of the back of my head, somewhat towards the left side, like every 5 minutes, they kept on, it felt like as if lasers were stabbing me in the back of my head. So it's like I had to deal with so much electronic harassment and electronic torture all yesterday and all last night and everything, that I figured that they're trying to kill me up in here. So I tried to go to bed, I think it was 11. They vibrated me. Tried to go at midnight. They intensified the vibrating so bad that but then what's funny is, each attempt at trying to go to sleep, they vibrate me so bad. But then if I get up and look up something online, that's when they stop. That's when they quit. And I wasn't bothered The whole time I was researching and looking up some electronic harassment stuff. So the perps probably know before I do. Before others do. That I got so disgusted with the plus me seeing other people do it too. I don't know the proper one, but I tried to get an EMF reader on my phone, and they were saying that the reading was high on a scale between 0 and 100. They were saying I was at 71, but and it's like I felt like, well, if y'all torturing me this bad, then y'all torturing me so bad that it doesn't even make no doggone sense. You might as well just outright kill me. And the last night I was feeling like, well, why don't y'all just go ahead and kill me? That's amongst the worst tortures I've been feeling lately. And it feels like as if I was back in Los Angeles again. And I thought, well, if I would have switched to, another bed, would that help? The other bed. But no, they probably might get me there. And, it's like I even tried to put my phone in airplane mode. It still did not stop the vibrating. So, oh man, I came on here thinking I had so much to say. But now it's like my mind has gone kind of blank. But then I guess the stuff needed to say would probably all pop up in my head like popcorn once I turn off the video. But all I want y'all to know that now I kind of remember what I needed to talk about. I wanted to let y'all know that Candy Grandpre is not living in luxury right now. I am not living in luxury at all, and I'm not expecting to either. But I'm just sitting here living off of cheap GMO packaged food. Just trying to survive day to day. Like I had some of the prepackaged, farina and some canned pineapples this morning. Some people be like, well, at least you're surviving. But the thing is, my point is, me trying to combat what the perps got to say. But somebody said, well, it doesn't matter, whether or not people believe you because people didn't even believe Jesus. And I'm like, you know what? You got a point. So, by this coming Friday, I'm at high risk for ending up back on the streets again. And I know the perps are mad at me for rejecting the ex-boyfriend Alex Mendez fake offer. And I damn sure don't want him being my handler. Because we had to fight. Even though I can't fight, but we had to fight. So, it's best I stay away from him. I don't want nobody to be my handler. I'll lose the fight anyway. So I'd rather just stay put where I'm at with nobody being my handler. I really feel extra sensitive emotionally about the handler thing. Because I really hate, being controlled and abused. Especially by people who people who want to worship, if they serve the devil. You don't have a right to have authority or power or rulership over me. And I'm not giving myself power, rulership, or authority over to you. So I might as well just die single and childless, unmarried, in order to save myself from anybody wanting to be my handler. And then you can't even trust another professed target either, because then they'll flip on you too. And you don't know if they'll take that deal or that bribe, and become a perp. If they vehemently swear, that they will never sell out and think that they're invincible, and then they'll be the first to say, trust no one. And after they sold out, they'll falsely make it like as if they still never sold out. But the Bible says you will know them by their fruits. Now you can say you never sold out all you want. But, how is it you were a former TI a week ago, and then the next week you're driving by with a red car and one headlight with your arm hanging out the window with a red shirt? And then they want to lie and say, oh, well, that was my clone, that wasn't me. So they got some professed targeted individuals who seem like, try to make like as if they're, MK Ultra or mind controlled into doing something perp-like towards you. And then they'll try to, be an apologist for the regular perps and say, well, just have mercy on them. And they'll use the Bible scripture, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. But these perp bastards, they know exactly what they're doing. They do it on purpose. Because if you think I'm crazy and need to be locked up in a mental institution, or say I'm delusional, you know what you're doing. So, and I know some TIs have like a misunderstanding if they might mistakenly think that another TI was trying to perp them and they honestly didn't try to perp them, and both of y'all legitimately targeted, and then y'all both go arguing or fighting and stuff. But they do have some TIs turn perps that or they go around perping and still claim that they're targeted, and they really do play both sides. And then I've had fake TI perps do this to me. If I say I went through a certain situation and I show them footage of this is what happened to me, and they're like, well, mighty funny, you perping me because this happened to me earlier today. And I'm like, well, where's your proof that your situation happened? You say, oh, you're perping me because this happened to me earlier today. Exact same name, exact same car. Exact same name, exact same kind of car, exact same, But at least I showed you the proof of what happened. But where's your proof, though? You ain't show me. But all they do is get mad and cut off contact with me. And they don't even be having any videos or any footage of what their experience is. So they try to gaslight me with that. Lying and say, well, Candy's the one who perped me. Or Candy got her hair cut off after I did. Or Candy lost her book bag after mine got stolen, so she's perping me. Well, my stuff getting stolen, I ain't got no control over that. And the hair thing, I don't even watch you. I don't look at your videos. I never knew, prior to, my whatever haircut, I never knew of your existence. And then you lie and say, well, Candy's stalking me and Candy's perping me in all her videos. But then I go and look on your page, you have no content at all. That's the kind of game some of these people, they try to play. And it's hard, it's like the Bible talking about the wheat and the tares. With the Bible talking about the wheat and the tares, it's like the tares really get you good. The wolves in sheep's clothing, they really do pretty good with tricking you into thinking they're the real, but they're counterfeit. And you'll be more fooled by the counterfeit and then you end up doubting the actual real. and giving the real TI, the real targeted individual, you end up giving them a hard time and torturing and abusing them and making them more miserable and persecuting them more. So, it's a big battlefield out here, pretty much, So, earlier I was thinking about doing a live stream, but I figured that I wanted to be able to concentrate and focus on doing this video uninterrupted. and the perps think they have the authority to dictate that I'm not allowed to do any live streams. So, I just figured a solution was to just come in here in the dark and talk so that my video can stretch more if I need it longer than 30 minutes. Because lately, if I try to do more than one video, then the second video, they'll try to cut me off after 5 minutes. So, and I even keep on clearing out the cache or cache. How do you pronounce it? I don't know if you pronounce it cache or cache. But I've been clearing that out and clearing out my data, and they still want to prematurely hog up my video and try to falsely make it like as if my video is taking up too much space. No, it's perps hacking into my phone. So I haven't checked today or about the EMF reader, but usually the electronic attacks, they happen sometimes during the day, but they mainly attack me at night. And they did it. I was angry and disappointed that I didn't get to fall asleep until well after 3 o'clock. Probably close to 4 o'clock. And then I think I woke up around 8 or 9 something this morning, and I was still tired and sleepy. I think it was about 9:30 I woke up, but I was still tired and sleepy. And then lo and behold, I woke up, it was 12:20 or somewhere around there. And so, it was about 12:20 that I finally woke up, and I was kind of mad because, I didn't want to be waking up so late. I didn't want to go to bed at that time and wake up that late. And it's like, I guess the gang stalkers are trying to dictate and control, trying to manipulate when I can go to bed or go to sleep. And they want me to be non-functional or barely functioning. And then they cause this and then say, well, Candy, you should take responsibility for your actions. No, you take your responsibility for your actions, what you did to me. So I ended up, stumbling upon, the EMF. I tried to Google search, some information about EMF detectors and electronic harassment stuff. Because my direct energy assaults, they are worse over here than at the previous motel in Gulf Breeze. Excuse me. I got attacked, but not that bad. And I may have had vibrating, a few nights, out of the 4 months that I stayed there. But the thing was, it wasn't severe and intense enough to where I felt like, oh, I can't even be, it's unbearable, I can't even be up in there. But here, it's like so unbearable. It's unbearable to stay up in here with the directed energy attacks. And the fact that they had me feeling like constipated for at least a month staying here, I was scared, or I don't know, it was a very long time. It's not a month, but I just remember a very long time. And then I didn't start ending up with dry skin and seborrheic dermatitis all over again until I came back here. But at the previous motel, and for a long time, I didn't have to worry about seborrheic dermatitis. And I think that the perps are trying to fry my hair off. I think they're trying to fry off my hair. Because I even heard that the other targeted individuals, sometimes their hair will come out in clumps or their hairs be frying and stuff like that. But as I was trying to say, on the right side of my hair, seems like it's thin and breaking off. Well, I think a lot of my hair, it's not all of my hair isn't thin. It's always been super thick. But on the front right side, it's like my hair is becoming thin. But all over my hair, it seems like as if it's breaking off. But I know I've been suffering depression. It's very, deep depression as well. And, basically having much of nobody really to turn to for emotional support. But then again, you get on the phone with somebody and then they start to try to act like they want to try to control and fix you. And then, they'd be the first to block you or cut off contact with you and stuff like that. And it's like, well, you didn't care much about me if you're that quick to block me. So how can you, try to dictate my life and tell me what to do, but then you're the first to block me or cut off all contact? It's like you hate me but just want to control me. And so this Christian targeted individual blog website I came across in the middle of the night, and she said the same thing I said. It seemed like as if not all what I call narcissistic abusers are gang stalking perps, but every gang stalker is a narc, but not every narc is a gang stalker. But I said some professed targets even act like a narcissistic and controlling, and some professed targets can be very jealous of other targets. So, and I notice a lot of favoritism. Like the narcissistic abuser, when they're considered as in authority, they like to choose favoritism. And, which causes division between your children. If you wonder, I think that when you have a narcissistic parent or caregiver or teacher, church pastor or whatever, well, I say it with the parenting, whether foster or biological or adoptive or like a respite care work parent or whatever, I'll say that, favoritism is the mastermind behind sibling rivalry. Favoritism, manipulating and creating jealousy, that's the reason behind sibling rivalry. And the same thing, like if there's jealousy in the church, if you go to a church and you might want to question, if they have, fake narcissistic, fake church pastors, choosing favoritism. And they might choose favoritism towards the rich person who can afford to tithe more. Yeah, that's pretty much whoever gives the pastor more money, yeah, that's the more favorite. The favoritism. But some people certain narcissistic abusers, they get worshipped and treated with favoritism, and they don't even go around, they're just popular and well liked and for no reason, and they didn't do anything worthy to deserve such, adulation and praise and favoritism. And you wonder, why are you popular and well liked for no reason? And that person being like a narcissistic abuser, if they're popular and well liked and they're rich with a lot of money, they spit on homeless people, spit on the poor, and turn their nose up, don't do shit for the community, don't help out, and they just praise for nothing. And all they do is like everybody's frightened by their meanness and scared of them, scared to speak out against dirty, crooked things that they have done. And one thing certain narcissistic abusers do is they do a lot of cruel, mean stuff, but they get away with a lot of cruelty and abuse that's not because they keep getting away with it. You want to know why? Because they do all this cruel, abusive stuff, and it's like they think that they can slickly and cleverly do cruel, abusive things that's considered, not against the law. If they're not considered as breaking the law with their cruelty, torment, torture, harassment, abuse, and everything, or if they do stuff like abuse, then I guess they find people who's considered too weak-minded or who aren't quote-unquote intelligent enough to catch on, and or people who they feel like that this person wouldn't stand up or report them. And I guess some people have a breaking point and they've had enough, and then they end up lashing out on that narc. And then next thing you know, the narc wants to pretend like they're the hurt victim. And then that goes to that reactive abuse thing that I was talking about. So, when a victim has had enough, then, they finally go out and do something drastic because they're tired of being fucked with, tired of being messed with, tired of being harassed, tired of being manipulated and played with. So, yeah, I guess I ended up talking a whole lot. But one thing I must say though, I forgot they do have a couple of other programs here in Pensacola besides opening doors. They closed the doggone door in your face rather than open, and they're supposed to be a Christian organization. And I have no way of contacting the CEO or the leader of that organization. And so then that REAP program, that Rick Dye person had he was supposed to help. He made falsely pretends to be Christian too and make it like he wants to help everybody. But when I told him, when I contacted him, it was right after all my stuff got stolen too. And so I explained to him that, all my stuff had gotten stolen and I had to go and replace things. And he yelled at me and falsely accused me of wasting and mismanaging my money, and he refused to help me. And it wasn't my fault that my stuff got stolen. But, he's yelled at me and said I was mismanaging or wasting my money and stuff like that. He didn't want to help me. But I thought he was supposed to help people get off the streets. And I don't remember if I had just quit Seville Quarter or if I was still working there. But I think it was a day or two after I think it probably was the day after I quit. And so I forgot all about the guy with the huts. He was supposed to open up a shelter, and with the huts, I was supposed to be the first person on. They told me I was the very first person on the list to get the hut. And I heard that they had at least 5 of them built, but I don't know what's going on. But I heard that the guy that's operating the program, he was supposed to put up a shelter too. But I heard that he couldn't get enough funds for the sprinklers, that he couldn't, by law, he couldn't allow anybody at all. He couldn't allow anyone to stay overnight in the shelter that he was going to put up. Well, he already got it, but he just doesn't have the money for the sprinklers. And, you know, and you could, and the program was supposed to be that I could have stayed in, or me or anybody else could have stayed in the huts for free. And that could have got me off the streets. And they were supposed to help you with trying to get a job and everything. But every time I call, no answer. But, you know, he couldn't get that program successful. He even had to GoFundMe and everything. You know, he couldn't get that. But I don't know if anybody ended up living in the huts. But I thought they said first come, first serve, and they told me that I was the very first person on the list. But I haven't really heard anything back. But I heard they had like a little ceremony, a ribbon cutting ceremony and everything last year. Almost a year ago. But he you know, he couldn't you know, successfully, you know, get the shelter up and running. But so I mean, that could have been up and running. I could have been off the streets and staying in the I could have been staying in the what do you call that? I could have stayed in a hut for free without having to pay. But then they have certain programs they would try to make you go through and everything like that, and certain meetings and stuff. But he sounded like as if he really wanted to help people, and you know, using, you know, his Christian beliefs to try to help people and turn his life around and stuff. And it seemed like I guess they trying to stall on him and try to, you know, cause all these hindrances and hurdles and everything to try to block and prevent him from helping the homeless. So I was reading this other article this afternoon, and they had this rich white lady who tried to say that whoever were to help the homeless people or give them food to eat and stuff, that if you be lenient and help homeless people, then you got blood on your hands. And they try to make it like as if the rich people, try to make it like as if they're so threatened by homeless people. But it's the some of the bad ones that make the legitimate homeless. Like all homeless are looked at as bad people because of something that some of them do. Just like people look bad on all black Americans because of what some people do, and not all blacks. You get what I'm trying to say? So this woman has that much strong hatred. So rich white lady got that much strong hate. I was like floored. And like my jaw dropped. I was speechless for her to say that, you know, if you want to help homeless people or so much as give them food, then you got blood on your hands. I would like to see you, why don't you trade places with one of us? Don't just be homeless, but be homeless and targeted and see what you got to go through, bitch. That's what I got to say about that. So, yeah, a lot of TIs are forced, not all, but a lot of them are forced into homelessness. That they strip you of y'all know how it is. You know. And while these rich stalkers, you know, I guess they have such strong hatred towards, you know, I'll say fervent hatred towards homeless, that they feel like they gotta be distrustful and stalk and watch a homeless person's every move, and they're quick to be the first to call the police on you for any and everything you do. And they got a lot of people who are in jail or prison being experimented on, and they don't even need to be there. I mean, they got bigger fish to fry, like these freaking unsolved murders that people don't want to do anything about because it was a black female who was murdered or a black guy who was murdered. or a homeless person that was murdered. These unsolved murder crimes that they just sweep under the rug or cover it up. But you're worried about a homeless person trying to, seek a drink of water. You feel threatened by that. But they want to have everything in place to eliminate the homeless rather than help us get a job. And I see people all over Twitter saying that, oh, well, you can't even help homeless American military vets, but y'all can give free hotels and cell phones and $450,000 to illegal immigrants. And some people say Democrats and Biden and all that, but I heard that Republican is just as evil because it's two sides of the same evil coin, and divide and conquer. So I don't play that Democrat Republican kind of thing because y'all gonna get mad, but Donald Trump is a puppet too, and it's like we all being played. It's a doggone game, like they say, pawns in a game of chess. It's just like the Russia-Ukraine thing. They're manipulating us. And I've lost a lot of Twitter followers, or a lot of people got hateful and blocked me and stuff because they want, they say stuff like, oh, I stand with Ukraine and stuff like that. I don't even speak much about it. But if I share like a YouTube video or an online article that I guess that might put Ukraine in a bad light from a conspiracy-minded or a truther-minded perspective, then I get blocked, unfollowed, and everything else. So so I mean, oh well, but that's the thing though. If you're targeted, they want you off this. The gang stalkers want you off this earth. Like as I said, if my writing with my short story didn't come out properly yesterday, or it didn't sound that great, because they were vibrating, I'm gonna say it, vibrating the shit out of me. They were vibrating me really bad, plus me being sleep deprived. So that might be why the short story may sound not good. But I don't know if it sounded good or bad because I haven't gotten any feedback on it. But I'm saying if I sound bad, then I'm telling you why. But I figured that I didn't let that stop me. But then again, it was so unbearable. I felt like the story kind of was shorter than what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a little longer and a little more in-depth detail and stuff. So I mean, well, I'm disappointed I didn't get to wake up until after noon. But guess what? I still ate my breakfast. I had, like one of those days last week, I had some oatmeal and peanut butter, and I had some, I forgot to say I had oranges with it. But yesterday I was hungry enough that I ate 3 meals. But today will be only 2 when I woke up kind of late. But, what did I eat? Yesterday, for breakfast, I had the Cinnabon flavored farina, and I had that other bit of little junk food, small, tiny bag of chips, and the grandma cookies. I knew I shouldn't have had it. And did I have the last bit of peanut butter yesterday? No, it was the day before. I think I had the last bit of, peanut butter. And then for lunch, I was hungry. So I didn't. The mashed potatoes didn't come out right. It sounds like I hear a neighbor's TV, and it hit me in my right ear, making my right ear hurt. Oh, and also I didn't get ear infections until I came here. Also, at the other place I didn't even get any ear infections. So anyway, for lunch I didn't do it right. The mashed potatoes and a nice big chunk of the Velveeta cheese, the white queso, and I had some a piece of that chicken breast with some barbecue sauce on it, the mustard barbecue sauce on it. And so then for I just had the maple and brown sugar flavored packets of 2 packets of the farina with the spoonful of coconut oil in it, and some and a half a can of pineapples, and drunk some of the juice too, and some water on the side. And then for dinner, I gotta make myself strong enough to have some more of the purple sweet potato and the mixed vegetables before they go bad, and also I'll have the beef brisket, and that'll be the last of the frozen or fresh beef brisket. But then I still have another can left over. But I don't know if I end up having to leave here Friday and be back on the streets. But the quickest way to donate, if you wanted to help, is at the bottom of the description box where I have the PayPal and Cash App, and it costs $3.65 a week to stay here. But I may have to end up back on the streets this coming Friday. And earlier today, there was a job offer for a temp job for the day, but I can't do it due to my disability. I'm not 100% totally disabled. I can't do any work at all. But, I have certain disabilities and certain limitations. And also my circumstances. With my circumstances, with me being homeless, it's hard for me to get certain jobs. Now, they had a whole lot of information, with DoorDash saying, oh, we'll offer, $21 an hour and stuff like that. But I have no car. And I took and shoot it, well, I went to shoot my shot again. Try to pick myself back up and try to see about applying for some more, because I got discouraged and frustrated. But it's like, I wonder how everybody else gets to make a full-time living off of writing and be successful with it. Is there any way I can do it without selling out, without selling my soul? Can I just, make a living just to survive and get by modestly without needing too much? So, I went to apply for a few more jobs, like maybe 1 or 2 of them from Indeed, and then, a few of them from Craigslist. But it's like, well, how would I get the money? And like, say if somebody would call me tomorrow and say, well, are you available for an interview? Then I have to take the Uber over there, and I may or may not have the money to even get over there, because remember I told y'all about the bus situation, right? I can't ride the buses no more. So even if it were for the buses, Alex Dupree will make sure he's there, and I don't even have to plan or announce anything. And then he would be on the bus before me, and then call the police on me unprovoked, and then have the bus drivers falsely assume that I'm the one who started trouble. And I just got, and then some other reasons why I'm wrongfully banned from riding the buses and stuff like that. But Alex Dupree, not Mendez, Dupree, the one who stalks, follow, and harass me and tell me that the police got me under surveillance, the old white man. And Alex Mendez, he's Hispanic and younger than me and Hispanic. So that's the difference between the two Alexes that I've been talking about lately. So I've been just blogging lately, and I think I got like a lot of narcissistic abuse topics unofficially lined up to just, write about and blog about and talk about. But I still, I still not mentally refreshed enough to get to work on bigger writing projects and assignments. So I've been just sticking with the small stuff, like individual non-fiction blog posts of like a personal essay or article just on my blog. That way I can have total control and write what I want. But my mind can't even function properly because of the sleep deprivation. Like yesterday, last night I felt the sleep deprived feeling, and they were vibrating me. Indeed.com, when I try to apply for one job, they try to make me do this assessment or this test, and I feel like as if I failed it. I don't know, I probably scored better than I thought, but the employers might think, well, I'm such a dummy or something. They might think I'm a dummy or something. Or they might think I'm really stupid. But I had poor performance because of the sleep deprivation and them vibrating, the gang stalkers, vibrating my body. As I said, it was like Los Angeles all over again. That it's unbearable. It's unbearable to stay in here. And they're trying to run me out. But for the first, I've been here since January 28th. I guess it's been like 2 or 3 weeks ago they started up with vibrating me. But it seemed like as if they started vibrating my body after I successfully got the blue truck perk to stop with the loud music every morning. And that was like 3 weeks, maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Now I haven't been seeing that blue truck, but I still see the white car that's associated with that room that's next door. And so, ever since I successfully got him to stop with the loud bass every morning, that's when they started vibrating my body any time of the day, but it gets the most intensified at night. So I want to say I apologize if y'all are offended, at, my use of profanity and this, being like really upset and stuff like that. People want to be offended, but it's like me having such extreme emotion about a certain situation. I know I need to clean my mouth, So I'm scared. I wish I could have help to stay here, another week. And I've been hearing about, I even try to look into this affordable housing. And they said that the $837 that I get is not enough. Even for affordable housing, like, I forgot what they call it. Not Section 8, or any of those, but it's a different kind of lower income housing that requires more than, if you gotta have a certain limit. And I've looked into those too, and they say I don't get enough money. But they're so quick to mob you off of a job if you try to get a job and stuff like that. They're so quick to run you off the job and stuff that you don't get to stay for 6 months. And a narcissistic abuser, they will use it against me and throw it in my face, saying, oh, you wouldn't even last 6 months on a job. Like as if it's my fault that I can't last 6 months on a job. But, if you're a narcissistic, fake friend, a narcissistic control freak fake friend, it's like they let you know all, they pretend to be fake nice, and then let you know they dump all their feelings and opinions on you, and let you know how they've been. It's like they've been secretly feeling like they juice your head up and try to love bomb you and make like they're inspired by you, and talk like as if they respect and love everything you do. But then one moment they start to try to just have a random day where they act like as if they're in a pissy bad mood towards you, and you wonder, well, why are you acting that way? And you see that they just randomly out of nowhere single you out and treat you mean while treating everybody else nice at a field trip or a family function or a party or something. And then you get into an argument with them like a day or two after, and then they'll throw it in your face like as they're critical of every it's like with overt narcs, the ones who have no problem with shitting on you or spitting in your face. The covert narcs, they pretend like they're your best friend and then smile in your face. And then after the friendship is over, that's when they try to tell you off about yourself. And basically repeating what the overt narcs feel. Like the hard and mean narcissistic abusers, it's like they've been a bitch or asshole since day one. And will straight up tell you, well, you're this bad, you're that bad, whatever. But a fake nice narcissistic abuser that turn mean, they wait till after y'all get into an argument to pour out all how they felt about you. Or they'll be two-faced and fake. They will be two-faced and fake. So, wow, I damn sure did have a lot to talk about today. But yesterday I thought I didn't have such a bad day until later on. Then I started to feel really tortured. But I kept on being on the verge of rage. Every 5 minutes, a car would pass up by my motel room with loud music, and then the instant I grabbed my phone, they gaslight me and hurry up and turn it down and make me feel stupid. So it's like the instant I can grab my phone and press record, they done already turned it down. And the same thing with the paramedics, been doing that off and on all day yesterday. But some professed targeted individuals talk about how you should outsmart the perps in a way that the perps can't make money off of you. And which is targeting and trafficking you. I still got a whole lot more to learn, and certain things I forgot about. But it seems like as if the the popular fakes, they're the ones who got all the inside details, all the inside information. And then they have me blocked, so I can't really learn from, that information. But they're probably spreading disinformation as well. Fear-mongering, and then they have an anti-Christian New Age solution, like talking about shungite crystals and stuff like that. And then, they bully you and dare you to speak against, saying, well, shungite crystals and meditation and yoga and stuff, that's not Christian. If they say that they're Christian and targeted, and then, or they say, oh, well, maybe you should go see a tarot card reader, or, get your palms read or whatever. And you say, that's not Christian. And then they devour and attack you and get a whole mob of people to devour and attack you like a pack of wolves. and then smear campaign and make everybody hate you. So or they try to say, oh, go get you some organite. No, that's organite. They'd be like, do some shielding with organite or something. Like, no, that's organite is new age and can send you to hell. So I guess I'm done rambling on at the moment. I might try to do some more writing, but I'm just, when as I said, I couldn't go to I couldn't do the job offer today. 5 people probably would have successfully responded quicker than me anyway. But I couldn't do the job because of my hypersensitive ears, and then it being so chaotic and noisy. A baseball game. And I remember how I was tortured and suffered, trying to work the Saints. Not the Saints. It was the New Orleans Pelicans basketball game. I think I worked Saints games too in New Orleans. And the way it was, it was mentally torturous for me. And plus, they have you work like a slave 14 hours. And then, you can't even, they won't let you use the bathroom or have any food to eat. And then they throw away all the food at the end of the shift. And they try to make it like it's illegal or against the law to allow us to take any food home. But they take like, I don't know how many pounds of food. They throw away about 20 times more than they sell. Can't y'all believe that? And they won't let us take anything home because they, and to me it doesn't make sense because, like in New Orleans, it wouldn't make sense because what's the difference if people pay for the same food, and then that same food that's left over right after the game, they throw it all away because they figure, oh, you can get sick. But, I figured, well, whatever they couldn't sell, they throw away, trying to say that people can get sick. Oh, so money is the magic to preventing people from getting sick? Because I'm pretty sure that you pay for food at a restaurant, you can get sick too. So, I don't understand the logic behind that. It seems like after a game, a lot of homeless people, could be fed. But, I don't know. Like I heard that with the convention center jobs in New Orleans, I heard that there was a man who supposedly lied about being food poisoned, and he successfully sued the convention center, and so that's why the convention center stopped, giving food to homeless people anymore. See, that one desperate, perp that make everybody look bad. And so, they said that the few bad apples or the one bad apple spoiling a whole bunch. So let me get off here. And if I got something to say later on or show later on, then I'll be back on here. I'll see y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.